I heard that the NWSL attendance numbers were down in 2025. Then I saw the numbers. I have thoughts. Hello folks, welcome to Dummy Run Sports. I'm your host, Brody Hessen, and today I want to dive into the attendance numbers a little bit and give my perspective on what the trends are and what they mean, as well as give an opinion that I haven't really heard being discussed yet on why exactly the numbers have looked so bad this year. But before we get started, I will warn you that this is a little bit nerdy and number heavy. I wasn't sure how I wanted to approach this video because numbers are boring and not funny. I did add colors to the numbers, so that might help, but I hope that these numbers don't make you numb-er to the situation. Thank you very much.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Here are the home attendance numbers for each club this year as recorded by fbref.com. Let's first take a look at the clubs that have had the poorest numbers over the last two seasons, 2024 and 2025. Besides the Utah, who are new to the league, so I'm going to give them a pass on this, we have Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Seattle, San Diego, and Portland. And Portland kind of, but we'll talk about Portland in a bit. These are your biggest city, biggest market teams, and they're down the most over the past couple of years. Now, are they falling the most because they are the biggest market teams? Well, maybe. However, let's look at the teams that have remained stable or even grown over the past couple of years. North Carolina, Kansas City, Houston, Louisville, Orlando, and Washington, D.C. Besides D.C., which is a big city, big market team, the most stable teams have been your smaller city teams, which leads me to think that the cost of living, disposable income, economic climate, and even the price of tickets might have an impact on the attendance over the past years. There are a couple of teams that I want to look into a little first, starting with Bay FC. Even though Bay FC is a new team, like the Utah and have had their on-pitch struggles, like the Utah, they are growing their attendance numbers consistently, and they continue to fill their stadium by the third highest margin in the league behind Kansas City and DC. I think there are several factors that enter the equation for this to be happening. One, I think San Fran is a great sports city, and two, they have been itching for women's sports. It's no shocker that a gay liberal city is ready to devour some women's sports.
Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay.
If you have seen how the fans have embraced the arrival of the Valkyries in the WNBA, it is no surprise that Bay FC has really strong trend lines in its franchise's short existence. And speaking of the WNBA, let's take a look at Portland. Interestingly enough, they saw a slight boost in their numbers this year, a year where their golden child, Sophia Wilson, aka Sophia Smith, didn't play a single minute due to her being out for maternity leave. Actually, Portland has essentially had their entire roster out with knee injuries this year, and they still had a boost in attendance.
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look, it's just a flesh wound.
I think that rising stars like Olivia Moultrie, Sam Coffey, and Raylan Turner have helped quell the celebrity effect of Wilson being out. And I do think that besides Portland having one of the strongest diehard fan bases in the league, they got a boost from the announcement of Portland getting a WNBA team next year. I might be speculating a bit about the whole WNBA thing for Portland, but I would not be surprised if Portland's attendance numbers grow like San Francisco's have in the next couple of years. Also, briefly, I want to talk about Kansas City. Kansas City, you built your new stadium, and you made it too small. You're selling out at 108% with standing room only.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Speaking of stadium size is an important factor to bring up, because it is a talking point that the league uses to explain why players should stay in the US and not go over to Europe.
We also have so much to offer in this league. We have full buildings across our country.
It is true to say that stadiums in Europe do not fill up for women's soccer, like at all, unless you're Arsenal or Chelsea playing Arsenal. But to say that the NWSL fills its stadiums is just not true. I'm looking at you, Seattle, San Diego, Houston, New York, Chicago. And Chicago, actually, you just announced that you are changing venues next year, which I think is the correct move for you. It will help create an energetic environment that people want to come back to week after week. And finally, the goddamn San Diego Wave. You pissed the bed, San Diego. And Seattle, I'm going to put you in this too. You're both bedwetters, both of you. You both had the top 2 largest percentage drops 2 years in a row. And because you play in massive, huge stadiums, things feel and look way worse. And I bring this up not to harp on San Diego because I hate them.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
But because I see patterns emerging that should give clubs like Angel City night terrors. Players like Alex Morgan and Megan Rapinoe retired, just like Kristen Press and Allie Riley. Top players like Rose Lavelle, Emily Sonnet, and Gurma got shipped off to faraway clubs, just like Alyssa Thompson, M.A. Vignola, Alana Kennedy, Julie Dufour, and Katie Zellum.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir, please. Please, I don't want to go.
The thing that is really scary is that Seattle is a good team, and San Diego is a good... San Diego's a good... Hold on. San Diego's a good... San Diego's a good team. It's just... San Diego's not difficult. It's just... San Diego's a good team. San Diego is a good team. And they've both a good team, right? San Diego and Seattle have been good teams, and they have seen big dips in their numbers while winning. Now, Angel City is not a good team, and they have always been a team that has struggled to look like a team who wants to win games. And it's not just Angel City who faces foreseeable and predictable challenges in the near future. Utah and Chicago have got to turn it around. And Washington, when Trinity leaves, and I do mean when, it's going to be tough sledding. However, the topic of star players leaving the league is a well hashed out and debated topic that I don't really have anything new to add on to, but I do have a perspective that I haven't really heard being discussed that I want to bring up right after a word from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Sleep. Tired? Try Sleep. Do not use sleep while operating machinery. If your sleep lasts less than 4 hours, please seek medical help immediately. Oh, hi. Welcome back. I've reiterated that the NWSL needs to create positive consumer habits to improve attendance and popularity. And while the individual franchises have had varying degrees of success in building a resilient and diehard fan base, the league structure itself is not set up to make it easy for teams to build a reliable following. Let's break down the 2025 season schedule. It's the start of the season. Everyone is excited. The season begins week 1, 2, 3. Stop. What? You need to stop and take a week break for international play. Okay, that kind of zapped all the momentum from the start of the season, but let's carry on.
Game on! Game on!
Week 4, week 5, week 6, great. Week 7, week 8, week 9, amazing. Week 10, Stop. Yes? After another 2 months of games, you need to take another 1 week break for international play. That kind of sucks, but all right, we'll keep going. Week 11, week 12, week 13, fantastic. Stop. What now? It's time to pause everything and take a 1 week break, 5 week break for international play. Can we finally get back to playing soccer? Yes. Thank you. Week 14, week 15, week 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20... Stop. What, we have 1 week left of the season. What now? A 1 week break for international play? Okay, fine. Week 26, the season's over. Let's all go home and cry. And scene. Ooh, now, I am being a little bit overdramatic with this because there are international games and friendlies to watch during these breaks. However, there wasn't a World Cup or Olympics this summer, and the women's Euros aren't always on in the States, let alone at the time slots that I want to get up for. Also, as fun as friendlies are, the U.S. doesn't usually take on challenging opponents, and these games tend to be fairly missable. There's a reason that the rest of the world doesn't play soccer in the summer, and it's because the schedule sucks. Not only that, if you break down just the home games, it becomes even more apparent how difficult cultivating a reliable, energized home crowd can be. Here, I have broken down each team's schedule into just its home games and how many days are in between each one of those home games. I've highlighted the numbers that do not look great. To start off the season, look how many teams had to wait 4 full weeks before home games. North Carolina, Louisville, Seattle, and Utah all had to wait nearly a month before getting to attend 2 home games. If you're a franchise trying to get people excited to come out to games, telling them to wait a month is like trying to start a fire with wet firewood. It's not going to happen. Then you have the obvious issue of having 5 weeks off in the dead middle of your season. Look at Seattle. Seattle had 70 days between home games. 70. That's 10 weeks. 10 weeks of fans not in the stadium cheering for their team. In the middle of your season. 10 weeks of nothing. That's forever. And to make it worse, some teams like Orlando, Washington, Houston, and North Carolina had several large gaps directly leading up to the long international break. And then, to end the season, when as a league you want to build momentum going into the playoffs, you have teams like Utah, Portland, Chicago, and Orlando who had 3 and 4 week breaks in between their final 2 home games. And to fully beat a dead horse to death, I want to add just a little bit of perspective on what 70 days between home games is doing to fracture support for the NWSL. 70 days is 10 weeks. The entire WNBA season is less than 17 weeks long. The WNBA, that is where you get 1 to 3 home games a week. The WNBA, where all of the top talent in the world is flocking to, and they are not going to Europe during the regular season. I am not saying that the WNBA has it figured out, because it is far from it. What I am arguing is that the NWSL has been on a crash course with exponential growth and building a resilient foundation for its fans, players, and franchises. At some point, changes need to be made, and I think right now is a phenomenal time to swing big and make changes to how franchises are structured, players are getting paid, and optimizing a schedule that stimulates interest and a desire to spectate. And of course, as I'm editing, an article drops, proving that I am the Nostradamus of women's sports. If you do want to read this article about a calendar change in the NWSL, I will leave it linked in the description below. Anyway, if you've liked this episode, please like and subscribe. It is completely free to do so. If you like women's sports and appreciate thoughtful, silly, and unique perspectives on this rapidly expanding landscape of women's sports, please consider subscribing. This is a new channel, so your support right now really has a huge impact. I'm about 1 million subscribers away from 1 million, so pretty close. Maybe by Christmas. Anyway, see ya.